Hello everyone. Alright, so I'm back at Vault 88 and I have a little surprise for you. Well, not really a surprise because the title of the video gives it away. It's probably the whole reason why you clicked on the link to begin with. Anyways, yeah, I built a very small version of the Institute here. Yeah, look at this shit. It took me forever to do this. And it really wasn't difficult, it was just time consuming, figuring out what to build and where to build it. But alas, I did it. Now, it's not complete at all. I still have to build some of the rooms and of course decorate this massive settlement. But I got to a good stopping point and wanted to show you guys what I have done so far. Oh, never mind the dead bodies. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I had a lot of settlers. They were standing around bitching, constantly talking to me, and you can only take so much of that until you lose it, and the next thing you know, you're standing there holding a hot minigun with about 11 now dead settlers in front of you. But yeah, I got this build where I wanted it for now. I kind of wanted to record me building this because I know there are some of you who like to follow along, but I just couldn't be asked to tear this down and rebuild it. So I'm going to give you guys a tour and then I'll come back and talk about a lot of the main things. But before we get started, I had several people ask me to do something like this. Okay, not several, it was really only 3, but I like saying several because it makes me sound more popular. But thank you all for your suggestions, and I hope you guys like it. And without further ado, here is the tour. Alright, so I hope you guys liked it. Starting off, I'm using a new mod called Settlement Objects Expansion Pack. This is available for Xbox and PC. I'm sorry, PS4 users, I totally feel for you guys, and I promise my next build will be something that you guys will be able to replicate. I try to have a good mix because I know a lot of my viewers are on PS4, and I've kind of slipped on that lately, so you can expect to see more videos that involve something you guys can build as well. Alright, I'm not going to get much into this mod, I'll save it for my next mod video, but it is incredible. It's what I use for this entire build, and one of my favorite parts is the pull section that lets you build water. So in workshop mode, it looks like a normal floor, but as soon as you exit out of it, those floors turn into water, and it's pretty cool to see. So the first thing I did was start with this floor here, right by the door, and snapped out most of this foundation. Of course I added onto it the more that I built, but I wanted the foundation to be big enough to sit the main Institute platform on top of it. Yeah, this son of a bitch was the hardest part. Once you get this lined up, everything else just falls into place. And the easiest way to do that, to get this huge platform straight, is to put down two small floors right next to each other, and then line up this line here in the middle of the platform, you see? With the middle of the two floors. You have to do that all the way around on each side. It took me about 4 or 5 laps lining this stuff up for it to be perfect, because each time you adjust one side you're changing another, and it just comes down to barely inching things over for it to be perfect. But once you do that, everything is aligned and these walkways line up with the second floor. We have angled Institute floors to make the transition smooth, and it just looks great. And that was the hardest part. Everything else was pretty simple after I figured out what I wanted to build. So for the second level, I snapped upper floors to the walls below and then put down the railings and the back walls. Really, what I did for each level was build a box all the way around the best that I could. If there was a wall blocking me from making a perfect square, then I just bring that corner in a little bit. But essentially, once I placed down the back walls, I made sure to build out a floor that was at least 3 floor pieces out. That way I had enough room to make these little rooms. I made a lot of these, mostly out of glass to give them some character, but I changed it up with each one so they all look a little different. I'm going to use these for like conference rooms or maybe even lounge areas. I'm not sure, but you know, something like that. So I want to talk about the stairs because they seem difficult, but they were really the easiest thing. I'm using the Vault stairwell that we get from the Vault Tech DLC, and it literally just snapped to the floor here. And then the Institute doorway from the new mod snaps right in front of it. It probably won't do it now because I have things around it. But yeah, it just snapped to that floor, and then I can just pick up this door and it pops right on the end. See, and I did that all the way up. I think it's like 4 stories that I did this. Making our way to the 3rd floor, I used what this mod calls Institute bridges. I love these things. I mean, look at them. They're beautiful and they work great. So like the doorways will snap to the ends of the bridges, and then another bridge will snap to the other side of the doorway, so it was really easy to get these in here. I didn't want to have like a full 3rd floor, so what I did was put rooms on each of the corners and then have these bridges connecting to them. And as you can see on like the wall in front of us, it's pretty blank, but the bridge really ties it together without me even decorating. So now we are up top on the 4th floor. All I did here was build identical rooms. These are going to be the living quarters. And they were really easy to build. They just snapped together. Same thing for this elevator over here. I snapped out some floors to it, and then the elevator snapped to the floors, which was actually very surprising how easy I got that in there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I know I didn't go into a ton of detail, but I wanted to point out the basics at least. Really, like I said, the hardest part was figuring out what I wanted to build and getting the main platform straight. But if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I hope the tour was good enough for those of you who are wanting to try building something like this. I try to go like through every part slowly so you guys can see what I did. But my next video will be the first of my build review series. I'm really excited to get that one up. Definitely let me know what you think of this build in the comments. Give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and I will talk to you soon.